On Amazon, in the last 30 days, we earned $140,645. We made $50,000 on Shopify. $16,137 is how much we earned in the last 30 days from our retailers. At the end of every episode, I will update you on these numbers. Today, we're going to be talking about where we make our money. How much money are we making off Amazon? How much money are we making off of Shopify? How much money do we make shipping product to retailers like Hobby Lobby and Michaels? What's our conversion rate like? And what are the ins and outs? What are the things that we have to deal with as far as challenges go? And what do I like? I also want to touch on some of the things that you might be able to take advantage of, whether you're selling a product or not selling a product. There's a lot of unique things about each channel. I'd like to start things off by sharing something with you that I believe to be true. I believe that you can make $1 million a year with one product, one channel, and one audience. I did. After we invented Scorch Marker, our product, we listed it on Amazon, our channel, and then we figured out our customer, our Pinterest polys. We were able to make $1.2 million a year selling Scorch Markers to Pinterest polys on Amazon. Yes, we had a Shopify store, but it only made up about 20% of our revenue, which of the 1.2 is about 200,000. So you really can make $1 million a year on Amazon. You can make $1 million a year when you're just starting. You can make $1 million a year if you have been in business for many years. The recipe and the formula is the same. What's unique and special about this formula of one product, one channel, and one audience is that it forces clarity. It forces you to get super clear on who you're serving, what your offer is, and how you're going to get it to them. I see a lot of business owners that have multiple products right out the get-go. I see a lot of people white labeling something here, making something here, doing this variation of this, and before you know it, they've got 20 SKUs and everything is just average. They don't have a hero product. And in my opinion, that hero product is the product that people come to your business for. It's the product that solves their major problem. It's the product that is typically unique to your company. And it's the product that you put the most energy, effort, and thought behind. For us, it was the Scorch Marker. That's the product that allowed us to make all of that money. It's the product that gave us the opportunity to solve a problem for other people. Now, that product has changed as time has gone on. It's now Maker's Magic, which I'll touch on in a little bit. But first, I want to answer your question because I am sure you're dying to know how much money we're making off of every channel. And this is something that I'm going to be sharing every episode with you. Exactly how much in sales we're bringing in over the last 30 days. Before I begin the podcast, I pull numbers from Shopify, Amazon, and our retail channel. I run a report for the last 30 days, regardless of what week it is or what date it is. The last 30 days are what I care about. What are our sales and what's our conversion rate? Those are the two metrics we're going to focus on. They are the two most important metrics to me. They're the metrics that allow me to keep a finger on the pulse of our business and really understand how healthy it is. And that's why I've chosen those two metrics. They're also two metrics that are pretty easy to understand. We're not going to get into AOV to CAC. We're not going to get into lifetime gross profit of each customer or returning customer rate or LTV or AOV. We may, in fact, I'm certain we will. But today, we're going to focus on sales and conversion rate. So let's start off by giving you what you want. How much are we making direct to retail? $16,137 is how much we earned in the last 30 days from our retailers. Now, I want to take a minute to talk about the retailers so you can understand how this really works. We don't get paid for 90 days, 120 days, 6 months sometimes on some of these relationships. We sell product to Hobby Lobby, to Michaels, to other smaller independent retailers, but those are the main two. Walmart reached out to us last year and they wanted to put our Scorch Markers in every single Walmart, all 4,000 stores. And I told them no. We'll discuss the ins and outs of retail in another episode. But just know this. If I had said yes and taken that on, I would have broken the business. I've done it before. I've broken the business by saying yes to too many things. So this was one of those opportunities for me to say no. It was an opportunity for me to focus on what's most important for our business. And our business didn't need another avenue to move product. We needed to take care of our existing customers. We needed to continue to focus on our rocks and our goals. We didn't need another distraction, as lucrative and as exciting as it might be. So let's talk about Hobby Lobby and Michaels, because this last $16,000 that I just mentioned to you that came in over the last 30 days was from Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby pays us within 30 days. It's fantastic. To be honest with you, Hobby Lobby is a great partner. I love working with them. They're so easy. They send us a PO. We fulfill the PO. They pay us within 30 days. It's called net 30 terms when someone doesn't pay you for 30 days, but they've received the items or the product or the service. So you will hear terms like net 15, net 30, etc., etc. And that's really how long it's going to take in order for them to pay you or you to pay them, depending on who is making the payment. Getting net 30 terms with a supplier is a big deal because you get the product and for 30 days you don't have to pay. That gives you a 30-day runway to turn that inventory into cash flow before you have to pay them back. And it's really quite special, something that you should absolutely try and optimize for if you can. We'll get into that another time. But that's one of the reasons why I really like Hobby Lobby. And that $16,000 came from them because last month we shipped them an order of markers. Now we shipped them another order of markers this month as well, but we're not going to get paid until probably late December or January. So it's really hard to keep track exactly of how much money we're making on the retail channels, aside from just looking at the deposits and the payments that we've made from these channels and totaling them up over the last 30 days. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to look at the last 30 days, and if we got a deposit from one of the retailers, that's the revenue that I'm going to include. I'm going to keep it really simple. However, on Amazon and Shopify, I'll give you real-time sales numbers, regardless of whether we got paid on that money or not, because I can at least confirm the sale. So before we move on to Amazon and Shopify, and I tell you how much money we're making and share the conversion rates with you, I want to touch on Michaels. Michaels is the third retailer that we work with. They are by far the worst. If you're anything like me, business banking can feel intimidating and overwhelming. That's why this podcast is sponsored by Relay, a business banking platform that's better than all the others. Why do I say it's better though? Because I've used it. I still use it. I love it, and it's way better than all the big name banks that I've used. They do everything I need a bank account to do. Multiple accounts, no problem. Send checks, easy. Pay yourself, statements, connect to QuickBooks Online, all of it. It's taken me years to find a banking partner like Relay. So I reached out to them. I asked them if we could work together to sponsor this podcast because I enjoy and use their product so much. And I know that if I spread the word to you, there's a chance you'll get to experience what I've experienced. Stress-free, online business banking. The setup is super easy and can be completed from your computer at home. All you need is your LLC paperwork and your EIN. After a short application process, you're done. There's no monthly fees, no account minimums, no minimum balances, and no hidden fees. So big thanks to Relay for sponsoring this podcast. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try it out for yourself. Michaels is the third retailer that we work with. They are by far the worst. They have antiquated systems. Everything is old. It's like working with computers from the late 1980s. It's really hard to get a hold of somebody at the company because of employee turnover. They're not the most excited people in the world. It just feels like they just don't care that much. And I don't know why that is, but it's been a challenge ever since. Here's what I dislike the most. They don't pay us for 120 days. After we send them product and invoice them, their terms are net 120. That means for 120 days, I'm basically giving them an interest-free loan. It's crazy. Not to mention, they charge us back for everything. A chargeback is when the retailer or the partner comes back to you and says, hey, you did this wrong, so we're going to charge you for it. We're going to take money off of what we're going to pay you. If the sticker isn't in the perfect place, if the box doesn't have less than 1 inch of headroom in it, if things weren't shipped in the proper order to the proper DC, distribution center is what that means. What they do is they set things up and make it really difficult to increase the likelihood of chargebacks. It's very common for companies like Michaels to hit you with at least 10% worth of chargebacks. That's, to be honest with you, that's where they make a majority of their money. Let's say, for example, they owe us $100,000 for some shipments that we did 120 days ago. What they're going to do is look at the shipments and find out where we made any type of mistake. Is the label crooked on something? Did we not label something perfectly? Did something show up a day late? Or did it go to this place? There's a million things. And then they're going to give us chargebacks. And a chargeback is money that they're literally charging us back. They're taking it off the $100,000 that we owe them. And I've sensed a common trend, and I've talked to other people in the industry about this, and it appears that they take about 10% of what they owe you. About 10% they'll charge you and take it back. So what that means is that they'll owe us $100,000. And then when it comes time to get paid, they'll only send us $90,000 saying, hey, you made all these mistakes. We kept $10,000 to cover them. To be honest with you, it sucks. It's not fun. I do not like chargebacks. It's a guilty until proven innocent thing. And it really makes working with retail partners like not fun. Instead of working with you, they want you to fail so they can make more money. It's not something that I respect. It's not a methodology or a belief that I want to align myself with. We continue to work with them because we've gone through the trials and tribulations of getting set up, and it was a pain in the ass and almost bankrupted us at one point. So we keep them as a channel because we're all set up and we're moving and grooving. I don't depend on it. I don't treat it like we're actually going to get any money from it. I'm using it as a learning experience. I'm really trying to learn as much as I can from it. It's nice, though, when you don't expect money to come in, and it does. But most importantly, the main reason why retail is important to us and why I even said yes in the first place is because of social proof. When you're a small company like us, who's only doing a few $1,000,000 a year, social proof matters. Legitimizing our company, it really does matter. When people see that we're in Hobby Lobby and Michael's or that we have these relationships, there's immediately an understanding and a respect that comes along with it. Oh, dang, this guy's selling in retail stores? He's got to be at least good enough to do that. We know if he's selling into retail stores, he's able to maintain relationships. The product is packaged properly. You've got UPC codes, general liability insurance. You understand like letters of COI and how to get those from the insurance company and jump through all the hoops that they require you to jump through. Those are hoops that make you a better business owner. And it's those hoops that prove that we have what it takes to certain people that it matters to. And that's the benefits of retail. Let's move on from retail for a minute and let's talk about Shopify. Shopify is my favorite. Now, it doesn't make us the most money, but it's definitely the most fun and we definitely have the most control. So let's start off with the last 30 days of sales numbers from our Shopify store. And this is for Scorch Marker, mind you. And this is from November 1st to December 1st, like all the numbers that I'll be sharing with you today. Over the last 30 days on Shopify, we did $50,687 in sales. Our blended or average conversion rate for that time was 1.77%. The reason I bring up conversion rate with Shopify is because it is just so important to take a look at. If I look at the industry standards for the craft space, conversion rates should be between 4 and 5%. So you have to ask yourself, why is our conversion rate so low? Why isn't it at least 2 or 3? When I look at the conversion rate in real time, it's between 2 or 3. This morning it was at 4, but some days the conversion rate's lower. Some days before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the holiday sales, like in the beginning of November, it's not a crazy busy time. We really don't start to pick up in our busy season until the second week of November. I bring that up because there's a lot of low-hanging fruit there. Here's a good example. If we took that conversion rate from 1.77 to 3, we wouldn't do $50,000 in sales. We would do $100,000 in sales. So I pay attention to these numbers every single day. I'm constantly making improvements to increase our conversion rate. I want more people to purchase when they visit our website than don't. And that's what the conversion rate tells you. What percentage of people are actually making a purchase on your site? What percentage of people are buying from you? It's very important. Some industries, the conversion rate is going to be really low. Like furniture is 1% or less. Some industries is going to be really high. In our industry, we should be shooting for 4 or 5%, and I am still trying to figure it out. It's not an easy thing. I would challenge you to look at your conversion rates and track them so you can get an idea of where your business is at, because it really does matter. So when it comes to conversion rate and how we're improving it, we'll talk about that more in depth another time. But I will share this. We've made some dramatic improvements over the last 2-3 weeks. And so the conversion rate, the next time we do this podcast, I expect to be higher than 1.77%. And if it's not, shoot me a DM and ask me why so I can explain myself. But if it's not, I am going to be sorely disappointed. But I can tell you right now it's going to be. Our conversion rate has gone up significantly, and we've done that by changing up our website, changing our offers, adding in new bundles, making it easier to purchase, and making our product display pages look nicer. When someone comes to Shopify, they're usually coming because they searched Scorch Marker on Google and they're looking for a specific product, either our marker or Maker's Magic, or they're coming from social media, Pinterest, or Facebook ads. Maybe Google ads too, now that we have those up and running. Their intent is high, and I want to capture more of that intent and make it easier for them to purchase. So I put a lot of energy and focus into conversion rate. Like I said, we'll get into conversion rate optimization another time. It is a complete subject that I could talk about for hours in and of itself. So let's talk more about the revenue. So we made $50,000 on Shopify in the last 30 days. It's about 25% of our 30-day revenue. Makes up about 25 to 35% of our sales, depending on how well Amazon is doing. And don't worry, we'll talk about Amazon in a minute. But here's what I love about Shopify and why I am just so gung-ho about it. Because it's hard. It is not easy to run, operate, and manage a brand that sells direct to consumer or D2C. It's not easy. There's a lot of things that you have to maintain. There's a lot of plates to spin. There's a lot of items to juggle. And sometimes it makes me want to quit. But it's that difficulty that everybody has to deal with. I'm not alone. And I like hard things because I know that on the other side of that challenge is a better version of me. So when I look at all the struggles and the hard lessons that we're learning on Shopify, selling directly to our consumer on our own website, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it for a couple of reasons. The first is we have total control. We can do anything we want, and nobody can shut us down. The second thing is that we have all of our customer data, their email, their address, their name, their birthday, their phone number, what they like, what they dislike, any survey information, and we can build a relationship with them. We can talk to them. We can nurture them. We can take care of them. We can give them a chance to fall in love with us for what we do. We get to build a relationship with these people, and without community, without relationships, it's very difficult. It's really difficult to get compounding growth. It's just so hard. You need to have a direct link to your customer, and that's why I really like it, because it's hard, but also because we have so much control. I love having that control, and I love having the autonomy. I've been shut down on Amazon before. I've seen other people get shut down on Amazon before. I've seen other people get kicked off Walmart or lose retail partners, or all kinds of things happen. But Shopify, you're responsible. You're responsible for shipping the product. You're responsible for customer service. You're responsible for reviews and building out the display pages and keeping everything front and center and adding the videos and making sure it loads fast and getting a web designer and hosting it properly and setting up your email campaigns. And it's a completely separate channel from anything else, and it's unlike anything else on the planet. It is literally your own personal storefront. It is e-commerce through and through. It is true D2C. That's special to me. I've always been a min-maxer. I like to see how far I can take things and how detailed I can get to see how far we can push it. And Shopify gives me that opportunity. It humbles me. It gives me the place where I can learn, creates opportunity, and it gives me a direct link to our customers. I believe that Shopify will make up more than half of our revenue one day. What we're currently working on, or how we're getting to that point, is by specifically creating product display pages that coincide with ads, right? We're looking for a specific problem that our customers experience, and then we're solving that problem with our product, and then running ads and a landing page that speaks exactly to that problem, to that specific customer. And I'll give you an example. Our customer is a Pinterest Polly. It is a 65-year-old female who is living in the Midwest. Her husband's still working, but he's about to retire. She's got 2 kids that have already graduated high school. One's 21, one is 24. They don't live in the house anymore, and she's actually taken her kids' rooms and turned them into craft studios. One of them, at least. The other one she saves for when they come back and visit. But that's Pinterest Polly, man. Crafting is her happy place. She likes to collect things. She likes to finish her projects. And what she does is something really special. She pours her heart and soul into every single project that she makes. Whether she's making it for a customer or for a loved one, she gives all of herself. So at the end, when her project is finished, she just wants to seal it. She wants to seal everything in so it doesn't get rubbed away, damaged, flake off, dry out, all that stuff. She wants to put a nice clear coating on it that makes it shiny and look finished and complete. She wants to put a bow on the project. She wants something that is waterproof, something that goes on clear, something that doesn't have bubbles, and something that doesn't have brush strokes. So when she shows it to that person and she gives it to them, she can hear the words, "Oh my God, this is incredible. I can't believe you made that. It's amazing." That's what Polly wants to hear, and we're in the business of helping her hear those words. So when we created Maker's Magic, we geared it towards that specific avatar, that person, and that pain point. So what that means is that we're going to create advertisements that specifically talk about sealing in your projects with no bubbles and no brushstrokes. Then that advertisement is going to bring them to a product display page that talks about those exact same pain points, right? Bye-bye brushstrokes, not here, not anymore, all kinds of fun copy that proves to Polly that our product can solve her problem. It increases the likelihood of her spending money with us. It increases the likelihood of a purchase. It increases the likelihood of her becoming a customer or at least a fan at this point. We seek to identify specific pain points like that, like sealing your project, or looking for a flexible glue to hem your pants, or looking for something to coat your puzzles. And each one of these becomes its own funnel. Each one of these becomes its own ad set, its own campaign, its own landing page or product display page, and its own specific pain point that it's speaking to. One of these funnels can get you to $1 million a year. I know this for a fact. 2, even better. 3, even better. 4, even better. You see what I'm getting at here? We continue to create ads and funnels that speak to different pain points that our customer has. And that's how you grow a Shopify business. That's how you grow direct to consumer. Now, it's challenging because, yeah, you don't have to pay Shopify a major cut. You can give them like 3%. That's about what they take. But you're responsible for the shipping. You're responsible for the customer acquisition cost or the CAC. You're responsible to get that product to them. You're responsible to order on time and get everything shipped out. And for a lot of people, it's overwhelming. And that's why a lot of folks tend to stick to Amazon. But for those reasons, I like Shopify. It's difficult. It's challenging. It's so hard that it keeps out some of the riffraff. To be honest with you, Amazon has become so easy. The competition is really high, really competitive over there. It's a completely different channel, in my opinion. Where Shopify excels in allowing you to have all that customer data, etc., is the exact opposite of what Amazon is. And we'll talk about Amazon in just a moment. I'm just about done finishing up here with Shopify. But I will say this. Shopify's harder, but you get way more control. And that control is worth it if you are the type of person that wants to have it. But if you are not interested in all of the control and all of your customer data, and you just want to get products to your customer and you don't want to deal with shipping and all that hassle, then maybe Amazon might be the play. I like to do both. In my opinion, there are Amazon buyers and there are website buyers. I'm a combination of both. I like to support websites when I can and individual businesses, but there are certain things I'm going to go to Amazon for. There are certain things that I want Prime shipping for. There are certain things that I want the security of knowing that I can return shit, that I'll be fine if something shows up busted and broken and damaged. You don't have that same guarantee on Shopify. All right, so I shared with you that we're making $50,687 on Shopify for the last 30 days, and our conversion rate is 1.7%. In retail, we made $16,137 in the last 30 days. I don't know our conversion rate. It's not something that it was even pertinent for this anyway. Let's talk about Amazon. On Amazon, in the last 30 days, we earned $140,645. Our conversion rate was 12.2%. 12.2%. That is wildly different than Shopify. Wildly different. But did you know that Amazon takes 35%? Did you know that I have to pay for ads to get those numbers on Amazon? So it lowers the amount of money we make even more. Now, I don't have to ship. I don't have to deal with collecting the money and the payment processing, and oftentimes a lot of the customer service, the fulfillment, the inventory, the stocking, the splitting it up. It's Prime eligible. You definitely pay for using Amazon services. But there are so many people that use it to purchase that it inevitably has just become our largest channel. There are people searching for things on Amazon. It is one of the largest search engines in the world next to YouTube and Google. Pinterest is also a very big search engine. Well, don't worry. We'll talk about Pinterest one of these days. But Amazon, man, it's different. It's a completely different animal. Here's how it works with Amazon. Amazon has the buyers. They have the customers. On Shopify, you're responsible for finding your own customers. But on Amazon, you are not. Amazon has them ready to go. They know what they want. They know, trust me, they know their customers so well. So when you list your products on Amazon, you have the opportunity to get in front of people that are already looking to purchase. That's why the conversion rate is so much higher. People go on Amazon to purchase, nothing else. They go on there with buyer's intent. So when they're searching for stuff, they're ready to buy. Versus when someone's searching something on the internet, on Google, or as they see an ad on Facebook, they are not always ready to buy. Sometimes you have to hit them 7 times with an ad before they make a purchase. That's why Amazon is so special. It allows you to get very quick feedback on whether or not there's even a market for your product. When I launched Scorch Marker, there was not a market. No one was looking for it. I forced it. I had to make someone problem aware, solution aware, and then I had to convince them to buy. It was hard. It was really hard. Now, imagine if you found a product that you could improve upon and make it your own. Oh, my gosh, lights out. And that's why Amazon is special. They have customers. You don't have to ship the product to them. You just have to get the product into Amazon. And here's what's interesting about Amazon. When you get that Prime badge, the customers, I'm going to get it in 2 days or less. Perfect. They want it now. They want it now. Everybody wants it now. I want it now. You want it now. It's a fact of life. And the fact that Amazon is able to get it to people in 2 days is absolutely impressive. It is so difficult to do something like that. Let me give you some insight into how that works. Amazon has warehouses all over the country, all over California and Florida and North Carolina and Maine and Utah and Texas. They're everywhere. When you send units into Amazon so that you can get the Prime badge, it gets distributed all across the country. They put them on trucks and trains and airplanes, and they send all your units to different warehouses everywhere. If you send in 100 units, they're going to send 5 over here and 5 over here and 5 over here and 2 over here and 1 over there so that they can be ready to get to the customer within 2 days. It is virtually impossible to get an item from a warehouse in California to somebody in Florida in 2 days. It is really hard. The way they solve that problem is by creating warehouses everywhere. They know so much about their customers that they know how much inventory of what type of product is going to sell to what people and when. So they strategically split up your items across multiple warehouses so that when someone makes that checkout, so when someone pays for your item, it's able to reach them within 2 days. 99% of the time, the items that you order off Amazon are going to come directly from your closest fulfillment center because they know that people in your area have a higher likelihood of buying those items. In Southern California, there are very few windshield scrapers available for sale in these warehouses. But in the Midwest or the East Coast, that's where a lot of them are weighted because they know that this time of year, windshield scrapers are going to sell well, and so they make sure that they're available for that Prime window. You start adding in some of the other logistical complications of it, and it's just so impressive what they've done. And that's what makes Amazon so special. In my opinion, that's it right there. It's their fulfillment. It's that 2-day shipping. It's Prime. They were the first company to really execute on this, and they have set the standard. But in order to play that game with them, and in order to get your product into your customers' hands, you have to pay. You have to pay to play. Amazon charges you in 2 different ways, 2 main ways, and then there's a million other ways that they can make their money off of you. We haven't even touched on advertising. But 2 main ways, you have your Amazon FBA fees, or fulfilled by Amazon fees. Those are the general fees that Amazon takes for hosting and selling your product. And then you have fulfillment fees or shipping. So they charge you in 2 main ways: for just having your product, selling to the customer, and to ship to the customer. So when you're looking inside your Amazon dashboard, you'll see 2 major fees broken down for each product, and they calculate it based off the MSRP or the total price of your product. They don't calculate it off your sale price. So when they're calculating these fees, they calculate it off of the offer price, not the sale price. So if you have an item listed at $100 and you discounted it to $50, they're going to charge you fees based on the $100 price tag. I share that with you because I've messed this up before. There's no way around the fees. You can't beat them. You just have to join them and play the game. So when we put our products on Amazon, we have to make sure that our margins are healthy because we know that Amazon's going to take 35%. If you're selling a product for $100, they're going to take $35. If it's a $10 item, they're going to take $3.50. How do you make that work? You have to price your products correctly based on your margin. And we're definitely going to get into that. And I have a pricing calculator. If you need it, just DM me. I got it for you, or it's in the resources section inside the community and circle. But it's really important to price yourself correctly. And that's why we multiply our cost of goods by 5 so that we can have enough margin built in to cover these fees that Amazon charges. Obviously, it's worth it. We did $140,000 in sales in the last 30 days. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Oh my gosh. How much is that every day? Let's do it. 140,000 divided by 30. About $4,666 a day. Incredibly humbling. I remember the first time we did 10 sales in a day and we did $200. It damn near blew my mind. I was calling everybody I knew. I was calling my dad. I was calling my aunts. I was calling my brothers. I'm like, I can't believe if we did, oh my God, we did 10 sales today. It's $200. That's insane. If we did that every day, I could replace my job. I wouldn't have to work at the fire department anymore. Little did I know that would become true eventually. It can become true for you too. So let's talk about the pros and cons really quick with Amazon. The pros, they have customers. They're very easy to work with, very easy to get set up with. It's almost instantaneous to go make sales. The system is quite simple. It's very straightforward. You can figure it out on your own. You can manage it on your own. You don't have to ship the product. You don't have to collect the payments. You don't have to build a website. You literally just create the product, take some photos and some videos, list it, and then the sales start coming. Now, you can enhance those sales with some paid advertising and some paid traffic and some PPC ads, but you don't have to worry about that in the beginning. They have customers ready to buy. And it's really special. I love that Amazon ships for you. I love that fact. It just makes life great. Here's what I don't like about Amazon. I don't like that it takes about 6 months for your product to become available to customers if you just list it. It takes about 6 months for Amazon to trust you that you are who you are and that people actually like this thing. I don't like the fact that you can't respond to reviews and that the fake reviews are rampant and a real problem. I don't like the fact that Amazon can shut you down. If another company says you're infringing on their trademark, sometimes Amazon will just shut down your listing. If Amazon doesn't like what you're doing, or if you've broken their terms of service in any way, they can literally take $140,000 worth of earnings from me right off the table. They can just remove it, and I no longer have access to it. That's scary. I don't like depending on Amazon because I've seen them shut people down. In fact, I have been shut down on Amazon before. And it's brutal and it's scary, and it's not something that I want to bet the farm on. So I diversify my channels a little bit. Now, in the beginning, it's not that big of a deal. Get to $1 million a year on just Amazon, and then spin up your Shopify store, and then worry about it. Prove that you have product market fit, because selling $1 million worth of a product this year is insignificant. It's nothing. It's a lot for us. Trust me. Don't get me wrong. It is an incredible accomplishment. But in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of GDP and GMV or all the products that are sold, it's really nothing. Nobody is paying attention to us. There's this thing called spotlight bias where we always overestimate the amount of attention that people are giving us. I am so guilty of it. Oh my gosh, what are they going to think if I alter this price very slightly or this image or this picture? Nobody cares. What is my point? My point is that Amazon is an excellent place to start. It really is. It can be great. It gave my business the break that it needed. It allowed me to quit the fire department. It gave me the income that I needed to succeed. It just did wonderful things for me, myself, my brand, my family, all of it. I'm eternally grateful to Amazon, and I'm going to continue to use them. But I'm not going to bank everything on them. And I'm not going to be just an Amazon-only brand because of some of those reasons I shared with you. Another reason I don't like Amazon is that it takes a really long time for your inventory to get counted and scanned and intaked. It takes a long time for them to split it up. And if you don't send your inventory in the beginning of October, it's not going to be available for Christmas to sell to customers. It just takes too long to send in inventory. It sucks. So the speed isn't there. Another thing I don't like about Amazon is the fact they take 35% of your sales. It's a lot of money. Oh my gosh, it's so much money. It is. They have the customers. Let's recap really quick because I think this is a super interesting subject and not a lot of people get insight into the specific numbers, conversion rates, and the pros and cons all in one. So I was just ecstatic to make this episode for you so you could see inside. I can open up the kimono and you can take a look at the inner workings of our brand and what we're working towards. And I want to be better. I'm constantly trying to be better. These numbers to a previous version of me are very impressive. These numbers to the future version of me have a lot to improve on. But I share that with you because I want you to be along for this journey as well. I'm not different. I'm just like you. I've just been doing it a little longer in a different way. And so I hope that this inspires you. I hope that this inspires you to know that I started out by making one sale every 6 months, and it just compounds over time. I hope it inspires you to know that I don't have any formal education. I'm just a fireman who had an idea, invented a product, listed it on Amazon, started making sales. And it has snowballed and compounded into the place that I am today. And I expect today to compound and snowball into the version of me in the future. At the end of every episode, I will update you on these numbers. I'm going to give you conversion rates and sales numbers for the last 30 days, whether we do an episode every week, every 2 weeks, or 3 or a month. You'll know and be able to keep track in real time with me how much money we're making. So at the end of every episode, you can expect me to share these numbers with you. So let's recap it. Over the last 30 days, on our retail channel, we brought in $16,137. Over the last 30 days on Shopify, we brought in $50,687 at a 1.77% conversion rate. On Amazon, in the last 30 days, we earned $140,645 at a 12.28% conversion rate. The split is about 70-25-5 in terms of percentages. 70% of our revenue is coming from Amazon, 25% from Shopify, and 5% from retail. I'd like to take a moment to thank you for listening. Your attention means the world to me. It really does. If you've gotten to a point where you have any questions or you're ready to apply for the Operator Academy, shoot me a DM so I can take care of you. Otherwise, keep doing the boring work and be good to future you.